You know what? I like shooting things. I'm a proud American, that's pretty much my only personality trait. So, we're making a gun in Minecraft. I don't know, what can I say? It's not exactly an original idea, but hey, it's happening. And specifically what I thought would be kinda cool to do is essentially set up sort of like a raycasting mechanic so that we can basically make a gun that can do whatever we want to. So raycasting, for those of you who don't know, essentially it's a method of sort of detecting where a player is looking. And what you do is you summon an entity at the player, and then teleport it so that it's facing in the same direction as they are, and then just teleport it forward until it hits a block. If that sounds complicated to you, it probably means that you're stupid. And actually, this is pretty much just going to be like a video about raycasting, because that's kind of all that I'm going to do for this gun. Like, what I mean is, I want the emphasis of this to be like on doing cool stuff with a pointy click bang thing. I don't want this to get too technically detailed, because for a while I've been making increasingly complicated videos, and we're just going to keep it pretty simple with this one. So what that means is, for simplicity's sake, we're just going to be using a carrot on a stick for right-click detection. For those of you who don't know, you can make a scoreboard objective that will track how many times you have right-clicked with a carrot on a stick. So you can see if I just right-click here, that thing on the right will count up. And that makes it really easy to detect when someone is right-clicking with a carrot on a stick. Now, would it be better if we could use some different item that looks better? Sure. I mean, evidently all the server owners think that hoes look exactly like guns, so I guess we could use those. But, that's just an extra step of complication that I don't need right now. The other thing I want to do with these guns to make it sort of interesting is I want them to be very customizable. So I think that the way we're going to do that is we're essentially going to have two different types of entities. There's going to be the entity that you summon when you first click, and that's going to be the one teleporting forward. And at every step of the way, it's going to summon the other type of entity. So when it lands at the end, you'll have all the entities in a line, as well as the first entity you summoned at the very end, and you can sort of run a command at each of the two kinds of entities, and then kill them both off. And that'll, get some cool stuff going, hopefully. Alright, here I believe, the majority of it is already kind of set up, so let's just go over it real quick. First command, it obviously summons that entity at anyone with a score high enough. Second one is the one that teleports it so that it's facing the same way as the player. After that, we come to the ones which are basically just doing the same thing over and over again. So the first one of those checks if the block in front of it is air, and if it is, it teleports it forward. The other one just summons a different kind of area effect cloud, and then it does that over and over again up until, I want to say, this one? Yes. So here, this is actually an incomplete command. We can do whatever we want at all of these entities tagged with middle, and same with all the ones tagged with end. Then after that, we kill all the different entities. That should be middle, and we also reset the player's score so that it's not doing it constantly. So just for a quick test, let's just put in some simple commands. Alright, let's hope this is working. Nope, that is very much not working. So now maybe, yeah, that seems to be working right. You can see I've put in some simple commands, so all the ones sort of in the line leading up to it are creating these nice gold blocks, and at the end we get the shiny diamond. One thing I'm thinking as I'm looking at it is the range is not unlimited, right? It'll only teleport a certain number of blocks forward before it stops, and that's just because we only have so many command blocks here. But I'm actually kind of thinking that I would like the range to be a little bit longer. I mean, it doesn't need to be crazy long, but I feel like if I, shoot at that thing over there, I want it to get there, but it doesn't even get close. So the only way to do that, unfortunately, is we're just going to literally have to, duplicate all of these middle command blocks. So I may have gotten a little bit carried away there. Range should be 5 times longer, so now if we look way over there and shoot, it does actually make it, wow, not even all the way over. But I mean, that seems like a sufficiently long range. It doesn't need to be so long. So, I mean, yeah, already I think I'm satisfied with the way that's working. And, I figure at this point we might as well just go ahead and see what else we can do with this. So, I feel like the most obvious choice is getting some nice TNT going here. So we can get a TNT summoning at the end of the line and then just each step of the way I decided to add in a particle effect, because, everyone likes particle effects. So now, if we shoot up in the sky, you can see that's very mesmerizing, actually. I like the way that they all just kind of appear and disappear in synchronously. That's not a word. But if we shoot somewhere at the ground, we do get a nice little explosion. Which, everyone loves being able to just look at things and click and shoot. So, yeah, I guess those little explosions are fine if you're a baby and you like baby explosions. But if you're cool and you like big explosions like me, well, there's a way to do that, actually. You can summon a creeper with a custom explosion radius. And so by default, that's 3. But I thought, hey, let's just crank that up to 30 and see how that goes. So if we run this now, that is a pretty substantial explosion. Yeah, wow, I tell you, dude, big creeper explosions, really fun, but just a little bit laggy. Anyway, with our area here, like, thoroughly destroyed, I want to make, like, an ice gun. I want to be that guy from Frozen, who says super suit. And that seems like it should be pretty simple. You can use like a fill command to destroy all the blocks and replace it with ice. But here's the thing. You can say replace a specific block. Like I could say replace air. Or better yet, let's say replace like stone. And then if we shoot over at this mountain here, it'll do it mostly right. But the thing is, then if we go over to this grass, it does absolutely nothing. As far as I know, there's no easy way to say just like replace everything but air. I'm gonna have to think about that for a second. Alright, here we go. I came up with something. We'll see if it actually works. Essentially what we do now, instead of just running a single command at our area effects cloud, we have to completely destroy that simplicity by running several commands. So what it does is it summons an armor stand tagged with ice, because it's going to make ice, some ways away from it. And then each of those just summons more in some direction, and they do that a bunch. The good part about that is that each armor stand can check individually if the block it's on is air, and then if it is, it can set it to ice. Alright, I'm really hoping this works out. It does! There's a little bit of delay because it's running a lot of commands, but it's doing it. It is doing it exactly correctly. We ought to change up the particle effect a bit, though. Alright, let's see how this is looking. Oh, that's very nice. A nice little icy particle effect. Haha, Enderman, get iced on. Alright, I'm thinking we hit one more. And this one will hopefully be a little bit simpler. A little bit bizarre, but I think it's going to be a good one, honestly. Alright, I haven't been showing myself working a whole lot, because usually that's kind of boring. But I just wanted to say that this is easily the most annoying part about command blocks. Right, so basically I just had to run the same command several times in a row with some slight changes, which is annoying enough as it is, but then I discovered this minus right here, that should not exist on any of the commands. But now I just literally have to go through and change it on every single command block. And like if I were working in like a Word document, that would be pretty easy. Because, you can just go line by line and get them pretty quickly. But here I have to, escape out of every one and look at a different one. And, it's not a big deal, but it's a pain. But it's dealt with now. And I'm pretty sure we're good here. So as you may have seen, what we're doing is we're using some clone commands. And now that I'm thinking about it, there's one part of this that's definitely not going to work. But let's give it a shot. I'm hoping that this will sort of like squash the area. So if we click that, that may well be doing it. I'm not really sure. Here, you know what? Let's build a very distinctive structure so we can see. Alright, let's see. If we aim right at the middle of this thing, it did get squashed. It got kind of moved around rather strangely. Okay, yeah, there's definitely some problem with it. There's clearly more than one problem with it. I'm just going to have to look at them both. And once again, when I find that problem, I'm going to have to go through every single command block to change it. I found the problem. Alright, well, with every single one of those stupid things now fixed, let's see. Hopefully this will be more obviously working now. I mean, yeah, that looks like it's just being flattened. Here, let's flatten this nice little hill here. It's a flat hill. Here, wait, I want to try to like squash a tree. How's that gonna go? It's a flat tree. Look at that. This is kind of amazing, honestly. Alright, here we are in a village. Let's just squash this poor innocent little farmhouse. The roof is just gone, but it's a short house now. So I think that's where I'm gonna leave this one for today. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, you better say hi in the comments. If you didn't enjoy it, you better say, Henry Cat, you're a loser in the comments. And either way, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.